Okay guys, your first assignment is going to be a seed pod. We are going to, you should have gotten the assignment, done some brainstorms on this, but the seed pod starts from a pinch pot. So the first thing we're going to do is you have your clay. It'll be kneaded already. So I'm just pushing out, pulling back. You'll do this part whenever you're reclaiming, which will show on, you've already seen on the reclaim video. Okay, so I'm kneading. Sometimes we call it a monkey face because it kind of looks like a monkey face, the eyes, the nose, okay? But kneading it, gonna tap it into a ball. You can knead always on the HardieBacker board, but don't work on the HardieBacker board because the HardieBacker board absorbs moisture. So as you work, it would be absorbing moisture on your clay, which would dry your clay out, which you do not want once you get it to the right consistency. So usually this is how you store your clay, in cubes. Now for a pinch pot, this is a little under 2 pounds that I'm working with. You could work with 1 pound of clay or 2 pounds of clay. It's up to you how big you want your pinch pot to be. And I actually might cut this down. So from here, I'm going to tap this. I'm going to cut it down first. Okay, I don't have a wire tool right here, else I would probably use a wire tool. But I can check it too right now, and there's no bubbles in it, so I did knead it well. But I'm gonna make a pinch pot out of 1 pound of clay. So it's a little small pinch pot. Now, okay, so from here I'm gonna tap it into a ball. So I'm just kind of curving my hand, and hitting it around. My other one's cupped as well. So as I turn it, everything gets kind of tapped into that ball shape. Okay, now you can tell I have a little workboard on here because I'm right by the HardieBacker board. Here's my extra clay. I'm gonna move it right here, and I'm gonna put my clay on a banding wheel. We have this size and we have a little small short one. I like the banding wheels because I can sit here and work with my clay and move it around and not have to keep rotating my piece. Okay, but it's up to you completely. Sometimes I'll pick it up in my hand to work with it. So from here, I have my ball of clay. To start a pinch pot, I'm going to take my thumb and kind of just press in. Okay, press my thumb in to make the start of my pinch pot. Okay, now this is very, very important. This is for every project that you make from here on out in ceramics. Everything in ceramics can only be as thick as this little digit of your pinky. Okay, from here to here is about how thick everything can be. So it's not even an inch. So that's very, very important, because if it is thicker than that, then it goes in the kiln and it'll blow up. Which, once you spend a lot of time on a project, you really don't want that to happen. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to take my hands, I'm gonna pick it up right now because it's a smaller piece. If I had a larger piece, it'd be easier to work on the banding wheel. And I'm just pinching, my thumb is inside, my hands are outside, and I'm just pinching around. So I'm just rotating around, okay, and pinching my piece. With a pinch pot, you want all the sides and the bottom to be equal thickness. So just make sure as you go, now that I've opened it up and made it a little bit bigger, I can use the banding wheel a little bit better. Okay, these are all called hand builds because I'm doing everything by hand. I'm not on the potter's wheel. Okay, now I have kind of a base of a basic pinch pot started. Okay, now from my sketches for my pinch pot, I can move from there. Maybe I was making more of an oblong oval shape so I can shape it. Now, as soon as you see how there's cracks on the edge right there? Okay, that means your clay is getting a little bit dried out. So you'll need to go back in and put a little water right there. Just kind of re-moisturize. It's like dry skin. Okay, clay gets moisturized with water. So just kind of re-moisturize that. Smooth it out so you don't have those you won't have those cracks. You do not want those cracks. Okay, now say this was my shape of my seed pod. Now, one thing that we do have to do is we have to make you have to make seeds somehow in your seed pod. So you can figure out how. So say in this one we were going to add a whole bunch of little seeds on the inside of the seed pod. I have slip right here. I have my pen tool to score. I'm going to score this. Put a little slip. I'm going to score inside here. Okay, and then I will press that in. Okay, and so then I have a start of a seed on the inside. Okay, I could play with the texture of the outside. Maybe I wanted it to look a little bit more organic. So on the outside, I added some coils. Anytime I add, I have to score. Okay, scoring is like cross-hatching your clay. I have to add slip just to one of the sides that I'm attaching. The slip binds the two pieces together. It gets into the grooves of this piece and the piece over here. When I press it on, that slip oozes on each side, and then from there I can it'll dry and it'll form like a bond between the two. Clay likes to feel like it's one piece of clay always, no matter what. So binding it together is important with the slip and the scoring part. So all I'm doing right now is kind of roughly deciding how I want to put this together. Now you can use all sorts of tools. And we have a whole bin over there of different tools. Okay, here's a loop tool. That's what I was looking for. I like the loop tool to kind of smooth my edges. Once I do add something, I want to take this, and I'm just taking this and kind of pulling down. Okay, you can kind of see how I can see the edge still right here. So I need to go in and kind of pull down so that it looks like it's one piece of clay and it's not just on the top of that pinch pot I just made. Okay, so there's kind of like a little outer edge. I'm going to point this up just a little. And as I keep working, okay, I could add a lot of these on each side here to give it kind of that, it's like it's got veins or kind of things holding it up, and some different seed pods on the inside, some different seeds on the inside. When I'm smoothing out my pinch pot, we have little tools kind of like this. This is called a thumb, but we have some more over there that are a little bit smaller. But this also helps. I can come in and just rub this along my piece, okay? Also, once it is leather hard, which means it doesn't See how I can move this one? Well, leather hard holds its own. That's when it's usually time to carve. It's not the best time to add. You don't want to add when it's leather hard, but it is a good time to also burnish your piece if you want to make stuff smooth. And we have some river rocks. They're in the same drawer as a spatula, so they're these just black river rocks. And when it's leather hard, you can come in and burnish it, okay, because it'll stay where it's gonna stay. But I can just rub this river rock and it'll make it super smooth and real shiny, and the glaze takes to it really nicely when you burnish it. Okay, so this would be the start of a seed pod. I'll show you some examples of different seed pods, or you've probably already seen them from the assignment.